Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sunday. Who's excited to talk a little football? We got overlay on the slate. Bellman, you ready to talk football?
Yeah, let's get it, man. We're going to have to speed through this so people have time to watch it.
This is true, guys. I do want to say they like it when we talk over what the website is trying to go for and the accomplishments, and just kind of like the overall user experience. You see, last night went 10-2. That's $180 in winnings off of a $22 bet. They want the sweat. They want this to be a user experience where like you're down and just at the end of the night just waiting on things. That's happened to be how it worked out for me last night. I felt pretty good that I was going to get the 180. I got a little scared though because Valachunas, as you can see, was charging on Clint Capella, who didn't do a darn thing in the fourth quarter. Ultimately, Gobert kind of slammed the door on Donovan Mitchell, which kind of ripped my heart out because it definitely looked like Bogdanovich could maybe come back on Jaren Jackson. Those two things work out, I'm up like $2,000 or something like that. That's pretty sweet. So that's what they want the user experience to be over here. It's fun. I was watching it real carefully last night, and it's something that's attainable. So give it a whirl, boys.
Most definitely.
All right, but we're here to talk football. Let's see. I know a couple of my top picks will probably be different from yours, although I do think you're going to get on board with my number one, so I'll kick it off today, Bellman. Right here, you can see it right in the forefront. I got Leonard Fournette over Mark Ingram, and I'm willing to bet you agree.
Yeah, that's one of my top ones as well. I like Fournette a lot today. I don't like Ingram. Easy for me.
So it's windy as hell up in Buffalo today, which is one reason I may not be paying up for Lamar. He'll still do a lot with his legs, but it might hurt the passing game. I just don't think we see a ton of offense in this game, whereas like Fournette, yeah, he's got a tough run D, but man, he's been involved in the passing game. I think we agree that one's pretty simple. So what do you got next?
So that was actually my number one on the board also. Kind of on that same, you just mentioned the wind in that game. I'm going Tom Brady over Josh Allen. I like Tom Brady a lot today. I think that Buffalo game is defensive oriented. I actually think Buffalo wins that game, but not because of Josh Allen. I like Tom Brady more than him today.
Okay, that's not one I'm trying to pick, but I know you're big on Brady this week, so we'll let it go after that. Next up, this is another one you might agree with, might not. I got Devontae Adams over DeAndre Hopkins, two of the better receivers in the league. Chris Harris coverage versus anything the Redskins throw at Devontae Adams. Now, knowing that Will Fuller's probably not going to play today, they may try to squeeze it into Hopkins a little bit more, but I just don't know how much the Texans really need to sling it. I don't think the Broncos are going to have a ton of success today, so the Packers need to throw it to Adams.
I definitely have Adams over Hopkins. It's not one of my top ones, but I do like it quite a bit. Yeah, we see that one 100% eye to eye.
I know you're a big, you massively respect the game of Chris Harris, who should be all over Hopkins.
Exactly. So that's for me there.
All right, what do you got next?
Next one, I'm not sure how much we talked about this when we made our first look video. I feel like I glanced back past it. I'm definitely going Matt Ryan over Kyler Murray. I like the spot for Ryan. Carolina looks done. They look dead. Pittsburgh obviously does not. Much tougher defense that Kyler Murray has to face today. Give me Matt Ryan with his full arsenal of weapons and Hooper and Julio back.
Yeah, and Murray's not 100% either.
So there's just an added extra reason to like Ryan more.
Okay, I don't have that in my top five, but I was definitely picking it, definitely going the same way.
Cool.
Okay, and since it's up on the screen, I'm actually going to pivot down to my number 5, which is the bottom one right here. I don't know if you'll agree with this one, but I'm taking Fitzpatrick over Jacoby Brissett. The Tampa Bay pass D has had some good moments and some bad moments this year. They're playing well right now. My problem with Brissett is there's just no big play explosion on this offense right now with no T.Y. Hilton. They got Marlon Mack back this week, and even though it's not easy to run on Tampa, I have to assume they're going to try their hardest to establish the run. Meanwhile, Fitzpatrick has to throw. They have no running backs. The Jets stop the run as well as anybody in the league, if not better. So Fitzpatrick might throw it. I think he's thrown it 39 times or more in 3 straight weeks. I expect him to do the same thing today.
Yeah, I don't have this one chosen, but I figured you'd choose Fitzpatrick, and if I were to choose it, I'd probably lean Fitzpatrick also. I just don't love that game for offense, but I'm in the minority now.
Okay, you also love Jacoby Brissett, but they're just so down on weapons that as good as he might play, I just can't imagine like he's lighting it up today.
Exactly.
All right, what do you got next?
So one that I don't think we're going to agree on, and this is more just of a gut feel, give me Aaron Jones over Nick Chubb. I like Jones better this week. They both had really good years, and Chubb's in probably the bit better spot, facing Cincinnati, who's awful. But I just love Jones in a bounce back this week. I've told you all week I don't really like anything that has to do with the Cleveland offense. I'll stick to that story. Give me your boy, Aaron Jones here.
All right, I do not have it up, but I am, as far as that offense goes, definitely taking Landry over Beckham.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something about the one I just went.
No, I don't really want to pick Chubb or Jones because it's both of these guys could score a couple touchdowns this week, and I could see Chubb scoring twice. I could see Jones scoring twice, and I hate when I'm just trying to guess on who gets in the zone because I feel like they both could be very successful this week.
I get that for sure.
So okay. And that wasn't one of my picks, but I figured I'd throw it in there. Beckham's not 100%, and Landry's just been better.
Yeah, it's just so true. Speaking
of not being 100%, give me Alvin Kamara over Josh Jacobs easily because I even heard it mentioned this morning. It was the exact thing that we talked about in the First Thoughts video. I mean, the Saints need Kamara today. Don't get me wrong. The San Francisco defense is as good as they come, and they'll do everything they can to stop Kamara. But the Saints need this. This is a big game. They're going to need Kamara. I think he's on the field as much as you could possibly imagine. Meanwhile, Jacobs is really, really hurt. And I think there's a good possibility he may not play today. And even if he does, he's going to struggle to be effective and probably doesn't see his normal workload. When you're literally playing through a broken bone or whatever it is, that's just a human being not being able to be 100%.
It's interesting that he's not already ruled out. That's the only thing surprising to me.
Yeah, that's kind of why I threw in the bonus pick, is I think there's a decent chance this one's not up there. But if he does play, I mean, it's Kamara easy for me.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Kamara's actually getting a bunch of love across salary cap formats because of the reasons you just said, honestly.
Yeah, I would still struggle to use him in a salary cap format. But how many good running backs we haven't played this week?
I'm with you.
Okay, next up, what do you got?
So after those, a bunch of murky ones, really hard for me to choose. I'm going to go back to the guy that buttered my bread earlier this season, if you will, and that's DJ Chark over D.D. Westbrook. Both guys are viable. Minshew just really likes DJ Chark. We saw Chark have a much better year with Minshew at QB. I'm going to go right back there today. Thoughts?
Not one I'm trying to pick, but if I had to, I'd pick Chark. I just think he's still the better receiver.
Fair enough.
Okay, after that, this one is one I'm surprised you don't like more, and that is your favorite player in the NFL, Joe Mixon over Devin Singletary. Quite frankly, the Cleveland defense is not great. The Baltimore defense is really good. And with the wind in Buffalo, the Ravens are just going to be like, all right, you're going to have to beat us through the air. And I don't think they allowed Devin Singletary to go off. I think Joe Mixon has himself a rock-solid day today. And if it wasn't for the fact that the running back position is loaded on DK this week, I might even like him there.
So I'm going back and forth to this one. I probably won't choose it because, again, I think Buffalo plays well today. So I think that we see a heavy dose of Singletary. Buffalo's better than Cleveland, or Baltimore's better than Cleveland, no doubt about that. I just don't really love it, so I'm not going to choose it.
Yeah, you're just a Baltimore hater. That's okay. I can live with that.
Well, I mean,
to quote Taylor Swift, haters going to hate, hate, hate.
No, I mean, Baltimore's been really good this year, but I like Buffalo in this spot. Buffalo's also having a great year.
Yeah, Buffalo is having a great year. I forget who called them the best kept secret in the NFL the other day, but I agree. They're a good, solid team. I don't think it's quite their year yet, but I definitely like what they're building over there.
Same.
All right, that covers my picks. You got anything else we left off?
One that I'm liking more and more, it's the last one I'll finish with, and I don't know how you think about it. I have a feeling you just left it off. Is Benny Snell over Kenyon Drake. I just trust the Pittsburgh offense over the Arizona offense, especially with Murray banged up. What do you think?
Man. I just don't know what they want to accomplish in Pittsburgh. I feel like it's one that's going to be left off for me. At least with Drake, I know he's the guy. And I expect Snell to be the guy, but they keep changing up what they're doing there. If Samuels is in and then he's out, I get worried about a murkier situation, even though if I had to guess, clearly I think Benny Snell gets the most touches.
For me, I don't love it, but there's a bunch of them I don't love, and you got to choose, 15, right?
12, but yeah, 3 alternates, so yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, you could choose 12, but then you got to choose 3 alternates, so in turn it's 15, and it's difficult.
And I get liking that one over. I hate picking Evans or Godwin because if you're trying to make sense out of whether it's Evans or Godwin, good luck because it's just so hard to pick one like that.
That's what I'm saying. You don't. I think Snell is going to be the guy today, so I have a little more confidence there. I don't love it, but just like you just said, I like it a little more than picking between Godwin and Evans, who's just a crapshoot for me.
Right, definitely. Okay, I'll take Marvin Jones Jr. over John Brown today. Don't love the quarterback situation in Detroit, but knowing that John Brown being a deep threat in a game with huge wins, I don't like him there, so I'll probably pick that one over it.
I agree. I give you that.
So, okay, guys, best of luck today, man. Go out there and try it. It's overlaydfs.com, one of the faster growing sites out there in the industry. Play it a few times. And I have to encourage people because anytime you play for the first time on a site, it's hard to fall in love with it right away unless you win. Once you win a jackpot, because I didn't do that for the first 6-7 weeks or whatever, then basketball started and became a lot easier. It becomes super addicting and fun and very viable. Like, I feel like if you play all year and you play every day, eventually you're going to have a 12-0 day and you're going to win one of those nice progressive jackpots.
For shizzle.
All right, guys, best of luck today. Go out there and crush it on all the sites you play on. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys.